Fani Willis, the district attorney that has filed charges against Trump in Fulton County, Georgia, had an interesting and confusing testimony last week. We're going to talk about that and more today on Speechless. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Speechless. I am your host, Phares, 23-year-old conservative activist and radio host and radio guy, a lot of different things. I wear a lot of hats. But today we're going to talk about the Fani Willis testimony. I know if you watch a lot of conservative pundits, they were all covering this last Friday, Thursday, as this was happening. Last Thursday is when Fani Willis had testified and given her testimony, as well as her lover. We're going to get into all that. And many might be like, Kevin, why didn't you cover this earlier? It almost seems a little late. Well, two things. First off, the plot is thickened. There's more to add to this. And secondly, it seemed really confusing. And look, I don't necessarily think I'm the smartest person in the world, but at the same time, I also think that I can usually digest current events pretty quickly. This was one, however, that I looked at and I was like, something is not adding up. Something doesn't make sense. And that's because it simply doesn't. And we're going to lay out exactly what that means. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody, one, I am live right now. So please get that comment section going. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I will cover those as we get through this story more and more and more. But I also would like to remind everybody to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and of course, as I mentioned prior, please comment. I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into this this story in and of itself. So I want to start off back when you guys might not even have known who Fani Willis was. This is about 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Fani Willis announced her run for district attorney. And when she did so, she had an interview in this interview, she shared just exactly what she wanted to be that was different from any other candidate, similar to how pretty much every other person runs. This is how I am going to differentiate myself from everybody else in this race. Now, the thing that's interesting about this interview is that Fani Willis actually lied from the get-go. Take a look and listen to this interview that Fani Willis gave.
This office is not about Fani Willis. This office is about the people of Fulton County. And the people of Fulton County deserve the very best. She's sitting here with you today. She is the person that is going to actually bring programs that, instead of indicting thousands of Black and brown young men, thousands of people in general, we're going to put them in programs and change their lives. Because you're sitting in front of someone that is actually going to deal with these repeat offenders. Because you're sitting with someone today that actually wants to make a difference. Because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees. Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children. Because we deserve better. It's not his office. It is the office of the people.
Now, I don't necessarily disagree with anything Fani Willis just said, but listen one more time to some of those promises that she just made right there of what she believes the people of Fulton County actually deserved.
Sitting with someone today that actually wants to make a difference because they deserve a DA that won't have sex with his employees.
Won't have sex with their employees.
Because they deserve a DA that won't put money in their own pocket when it should go to benefit children.
Won't put money in their own pocket. Fani, wow. I would love a politician to say things like that and mean it. But it seems as though the definition of politician is in and of itself antithetical to the idea of keeping one's promises, especially when now we have this. But how did we get here? Now, if you've been following social media at all, you must have seen many of the videos, of which we're going to cover on today's show, of Fani Willis basically describing instances that don't line up, don't match the original story, don't match other stories, and then some. But how did we get here? Why is Fani Willis there? Who is Fani Willis? Who names a child Fani? A lot of questions, some of which might not go answered today, but we're going to try our best to do as many. Let's start off with the question of why Fani was on the stand last week. Well, Fani is the district attorney of Fulton County. She was elected just a few short years ago, of which that interview is from her campaign. And so the Fulton County case, if you don't remember, is because Trump obviously has plenty of cases that the left are trying to throw at him. Why? Because, well, he's a threat to their power. But that is the RICO case. That is the one in which I've had David Shostokis, a good friend of mine, constitutional attorney, who is representing one of the defendants in that case, in which Fani and many others are trying to charge a whole conglomeration of Trump associates along with Trump as if they are criminals similar to the mob. Seriously. One of the lawyers in this case pointed out, one of the lawyers that is on Trump's side, pointed out that Fani had some interesting allegations that could amount to a conflict of interest to her being the district attorney and the prosecutor, the special prosecutor, being who he is. Now, what exactly are those allegations? Well, Fani Willis, as the Fulton County district attorney, hired Nathan Wade, who is an outside consultant, to work as a special prosecutor on the election subversion case. The hiring occurred while Willis and Wade were allegedly, you have to say that for legal reasons, having an extramarital relationship, and Wade had received over $650,000 for his work on the case. So those are the allegations. Fani was now on the stand because one of the Trump associates had said, hey, maybe we should look into this. Maybe this is a problem. Maybe we should care about this. One person stood up and said something. And now this is where we are. This is one of the instances. And you would think, okay, here's the thing. Before I get into all of this, I want to say Fani Willis is the district attorney. Whether or not I think she's a good person, I think will actually probably become pretty clear here soon. But as a district attorney anywhere, you would assume that this person is somebody who is of good standing, to some extent, is a person who has some level of intelligence, or at least a higher level of intelligence. This is a person who had to go to law school, pass the bar, do all the things it takes to, as somebody who's currently in the application process of law school, it takes, take the LSAT, you have to do a lot of different application materials. It takes a brain. Usually. Maybe Fani Willis is the example of what affirmative action does to society. I don't know. But for somebody who is very, very proud of all of her accomplishments, she seems to play the race and the sex card like no other. This is how her testimony began. Just to give you a taste, you would think, being somebody who is in some level of intelligence, having some level of integrity, this is how her testimony began. Again, as she points out, not necessarily throughout her entire 40-minute testimony, she points out that she is not the one on trial here. And for somebody who claims to be innocent, for her to act this way tells a different story. Take a look and a listen.
Out of the class, me and Judge Reeves were having a conversation. She had worked at a law firm I worked at back in 1996.
We're getting way afar. I mean, I don't mind her explaining her answers, but I literally just asked if they met at that conference.
Explaining how she met Mr. Wade, which was exactly the question asked by Ms. Merchant.
These
answers are more than appropriate.
Ms. Merchant, if you want more concise answers, perhaps you could lead the witness.
I will. Thank you, Judge. Isn't it true that you met Mr. Wade October 2019 at the judges
We
conference?
haven't gotten to the point where Ms. Willis should be treated hostily.
I think we
And
have.
I very much want to be here, so I'm not a hostile witness. I very much want to be
Not
here.
so much that you're hostile, Ms. Willis, it'd be an adverse witness. Your interests are opposed to Ms. Merchant's.
Thank you.
Merchant's interests are contrary to democracy, Your Honor, not to mine.
Contrary
All right, let's
to
Judge,
democracy.
Let's ask that
we
we,
can keep things moving. Ms. Merchant.
Contrary to democracy, and this is not the only instance of which Fani had at one point said throughout this that somebody's interests that were not her own were in some way contrary to democracy. Now, this is a perfect example of the leftist narrative. Nothing is nothing is pro-democracy unless it aligns with their viewpoint. If someone is duly elected, but they don't agree with the Democrat strategy, that's contrary to democracy. If you question the potential of corruption, that is contrary to democracy. If you simply ask how you met somebody or where and at what point you met somebody, apparently that's contrary to democracy. The entire idea of questioning a witness for a potential conflict of interest, according to Fani, the district attorney, the person who is supposed to uphold the law in Fulton County, believes that this is in some way contrary to democracy, when all they're trying to do is question whether or not some issue or some poor behavior was committed. This is insane. And that's just the beginning. That's just like the start or near the start of this testimony that she gave. Take a look and listen at this next clip, in which she becomes even more unhinged, discussing things such as the reimbursement of cash or through cash to Mr. Wade, her apparent lover. Take a look and listen to this.
ever pay him through Cash App?
No.
You only ever paid him through cash?
Well, yes. What we're talking about, I'm very confused.
You've
now.
never
Like,
given Mr. Wade money through Cash App.
No,
The only money you've ever given him outside of a contract is cash.
I didn't give him money in a contract, so that was cute. But I didn't give him money outside in a contract. What happened is, no, we're gonna answer it since you said it. He worked more hours than he was paid, and the county paid him for the work that he did. So don't be cute with me and then think that you're not gonna get an answer.
Don't be cute with me and then think you're not going to get an answer. Once again, this is somebody who is supposed to have some level of decorum. You're being asked serious questions regarding corruption. And yes, you're not necessarily on trial here currently, Fani, but your actions could have serious implications on the current trial that is happening, as well as the entire idea of the justice system under your leadership. You're a person who said, I wouldn't take money, funds would not be appropriated irresponsibly when it should go to children. I would not have sex with somebody who I employ. Oh, but you're not taking this very seriously. And somebody who is acting this hostile against the questioning, does that speak innocent to you? I don't know. Keep listening.
And I will ask you about the contract in a minute. I asked you about cash. Did you ever pay him anything? And I'm trying to qualify my questions. I'm not talking about the contract with Fulton County that was paid. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about outside of that. Did you ever pay him anything other than cash?
I've only given him cash a few times in the course of what we're talking about.
So you
If we would go to dinner,
Let her finish her answers.
if we would go to dinner, I wouldn't give him cash because he paid for dinner or I paid for dinner. I've given him cash only a few times in life, probably 4.
Okay.
Probably the most money I've ever handed him is $2,500. The least amount of money I've handed him, probably between $500 and $1,000.
That was a lot of different numbers all at once. Very confusing. Take note of that. Take note of that. Maybe 4 times, at most 2,500, at least 2,500, maybe 1,000. There's a reason why this is so confusing, and we'll get to that.
You never wrote him a check?
Ma'am, I don't have checks.
Okay. So you have no proof of any reimbursement for any of these things because it was all cash, right?
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
So my question,
Wait. Did you guys hear that? You got to hear that one more time. You got to hear, this is the district attorney. This is the district attorney of Fulton County. And hear what she says.
Testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact.
The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact. That means there is no such thing as a he said, she said issue, because if he said, then that must be fact. Or if she said, that must be fact. The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact. That statement under oath should be enough to have a large-scale investigation into her entire office. There is no real reason as to which Fani should be the district attorney other than the idea that she was a diversity hire. Because the idea that one real witness or one witness should prove a fact is idiocracy. Something of which I mention several times on my show. I do see Modern Renaissance Man. Modern Renaissance Man, I believe I sent you the link to be able to join the stream. I want to make sure you can. If you didn't get it, I will make sure I'll send it right now so that we can get you on here sometime soon so we can get your full reaction to everything that I'm bringing up here. I will send the link right now in the comments. Link to join. I'm watching all your guys' comments too. So while we take this quick break here, and as I'm about to get into the next part of this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, everything like that. I'm also going to make sure if I have guests that they can stream to their own destinations. Good, I do have that. Okay. But so, yes, the testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact. Idiocy. Absolute idiocy. Look, a singular person who watches 2 episodes of Law and Order SVU would know differently than that. That the testimony of one witness, heck, a kindergartner who's gotten in trouble knows that the teacher asks both children, what happened before they come to a conclusion. The testimony of one witness is enough to prove a fact. This is unbelievably stupid coming from somebody who is supposed to be an arbiter of the law. And that isn't even the full extent of it. At one point, Fani blows up so much that it causes them to have a 5-minute recess. I noticed that one of my commenters says, I'm surprised the judge is allowing the sass. Well, he allowed a lot. He went through enough, multiple times, even warning Fani to calm herself down. But in this instance, it went so far as to push Fani and push the entire courtroom to have a 5-minute recess. Take a look and a listen.
Let's be clear, because you lied in this. Just let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. I think you lied right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
As well, Mr. Sena, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. Be back in 5.
Everyone's a liar. Everyone's a liar. And then she sits back with the most smug look on her face. With the most smug look on her face. Like, I shouldn't even be up here. I'm too good for this. I'm Fani Willis. The gall this woman has, unlike anything I have ever seen. And that was simply the one to push it to a 5-minute recess. I do want to bring up, because here's the thing, is I've covered a lot of different things as it relates to this entire case so far. I want to point out that there actually has been other instances in which it's proven that she's lied, that many have lied for her own benefit. One of which I'm trying to find the link for it right now is when her lover or alleged lover, Nathan Wade, actually gets proven to have basically perjured under the law. So let me find this real quick here. I just had it pulled up. Nathan Wade. I think I got Ty coming in here soon. Hold on so I can stream it to my channel. I think this will be streamed to Ty's channel very soon. Awesome. I'm pulling up this video of Nathan Wade right now. Let me make sure I click the right link here. Sorry, I'm making sure I have it all pulled up, everybody. Very sorry for, I had it for a second ago. Where is it here? Because Nathan Wade himself had said that the testimony had started, or that the relationship had started in 2019. And in fact, there was a friend of Fani's that had said that it started much later. I had this link. So sorry. I have my day job and everything too. I will get it for you guys ASAP so that we can get this this looked at here. Where is it here? I know Benny Johnson had posted about it. And then soon, I believe I will be having Ty Smith come in, and him and I will be discussing this a little bit further. Here we go. Give me one moment, everybody. I'm getting it up here. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, and also go into the comment section right now. Right now, if your district attorney had provably embezzled funds, had thousands and thousands of dollars of cash, which at one point she said came or was lost. At other points, she said she was destitute. And in others said she had taken it from her campaign, which is a violation of federal or campaign finance law. What would you do? What would you do? If that was a representative of yours, somebody who was supposed to uphold the laws, what would you do? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Because I myself am flabbergasted by this entire story in and of itself. And so if we look here, finding it right now. So here's one of the biggest, so this is not Nathan Wade himself, but this is also a very important thing we should be looking at when it comes to this entire story. Take a look at this video right here.
Whole life, when I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like,
I kept some of the cash of that.
I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much
Listen to how she said how she reacts after that as well.
cash of that. Like, to tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today.
You can tell by the way she sits back and the way that she's like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. I kept some of the cash of that. There should be a large scale investigation into Fani Willis and who exactly she is. She, on multiple occasions during this entire testimony, has been proven to have lied and is proven to have perjured herself. Nathan Wade has been a perjurer. Like, this is somebody who, the reason why this is bad is because this is not just an average court case either, everybody. This is a court case in which she is supposed to be the district attorney against the former president of the United States, who is indicted and has a trove of people indicted with him under RICO charges, as if they're a mob, for overturning and attempting to circumvent the 2020 election. And the level of inappropriate behavior on this is insurmountable. And I'm just giving you the spark notes on this so you can have a general idea. In terms of this case, I want to talk about what will come of this. And then I'm going to bring on my good friend, modern Renaissance man, Ty Smith, to react to all of this and another story I want to cover as well. But let's start off with this. What will come of this entire debacle that is Fani Willis lying, going against her campaign promises and everything such as that? Well, here's an example of something that could come of it. Is even the lefties are admitting that Fani Willis will need to drop out, will need to recuse herself from this case, if not even resign entirely. And here's an example of that. On MSDNC, MSNBC, whatever you want to call it. It's MSDNC. It's a political prop of the Democratic Party. This is what they had to say about this entire thing. Take a look and a listen.
Centric and yet so important and fascinating.
Right. Don't let the legalese fool you. This is epic. This is monumental. If things are going in the direction we think, Fani Willis lied to the court, it's game over for her. She will be disqualified. If they had a relationship prior to when they represented to the court, it's a huge deal. I can't overstate it.
It's a huge deal. Even MSDNC will recognize that. Even they will recognize that. This is a huge deal, not only because Fani will have to recuse herself, but what this means is that the entire case against Trump in Fulton County, which you and I already know are, pun intended, trumped up charges, it could be in jeopardy. The sad thing, I will say, is that it's not in jeopardy because it was just absolute crap to begin with and had little to no standing. It'll be in jeopardy because Fani Willis slept with the guy that she decided to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to then prosecute Trump. She slept with him, then lied about it, and then continues to lie about the relationship. The sad thing about all of this is that the case against Trump won't be at jeopardy because of its actual standing. It'll be in jeopardy because the person who brought it forward is a morally and emotionally corrupt individual. That's the problem. But here's the thing, and this is what I'm going to bring my friend Ty Smith on to talk about, is the plot thickens. While this seems to be something that for any white person would destroy their career, Fani Willis, just on Saturday, 2 days after this disastrous testimony where she gets too emotional, lies under oath provably, and also admits to multiple other crimes, she gets a Black Achievement Award. Seriously, Fani Willis got a Black Achievement Award 2 days after all of this. So at a church, she got the Black History Achievement Award from Berean Ethiopian Seventh-day Adventist Church in Atlanta on Saturday. And here's just a little bit of her acceptance speech that we're gonna break down here and then bring Ty Smith on to talk about. Here's that.
Something that I've learned very, very recently, because you may need this lesson as well. You know, people keep sending me scriptures, and I appreciate those scriptures, but different people from all different walks of life keep sending me this one scripture, and I don't think I ever really heard it till to maybe 2 days ago. People send you stuff, you read them, they just kind of become things you recite, but you don't really think about what they say. The scripture they keep sending me is, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." I need y'all to hear me though. They did not say the weapons will not form. And that's the part I didn't hear until recently. Just because they won't prosper, it doesn't mean that they won't form. Even if you feel like everything you are doing in your life is the right thing, and you're making mistakes all along the way, but you're trying.
So she messes up this guy's marriage, Mr. Wade, Nathan Wade. And I don't want to act like Nathan Wade is innocent in this. He's not, but she messes with that guy's marriage. That guy's going through a divorce. Part of the reason is Fani Willis, at least is the way I understand it. And then, but she still and then she also embezzles money from her job. She embezzles money from her campaign. At least that's what she says, as we just heard. She goes up on a stand, lies about all of this. And then she gets a Black History Achievement Award from a church. From a church. Look, I'm just a lowly, evil, straight white male. I need to bring on a real expert when it comes to the Black community. And so that's why I'm going to bring on my good friend, Ty Smith. Ty, tell me. Let's bring you in the screen a little bit more. Sorry, my setup's a little different. But Ty, what is this shit?
Man, hold on. This is let me do a little bit of something here, Kev, real quick. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me pretty good?
I can hear you good, man.
Okay, let me do something. Okay, let me make sure I line. Let me see how you look on the screen there. I'm gonna move myself over a little bit, see what I look like on your screen. Boom, boom, bam. I just dropped myself down lower, didn't I? Let me go up a little higher. Okay, there we go. There we go. Man, come on. Did she seriously just get up there and say, "No weapon formed against her shall prosper"? Was she talking about that dang-a-lang? She wasn't talking about that rod, was she? Because I mean, it was prospering pretty dang on well. But what's messed up is that she said no weapon against her shall prosper. She is the weapon. You sit there and you committed adultery. You knew what you were doing. And not only that, no weapon shall. Does the Bible not talk about hypocrites? I mean, Jesus plenty of times in the Bible would call out people like the scribes and the Pharisees. He said that, "Woe to you scribes and you Pharisees, you hypocrites." So she get up there and make a video doing all this talking about, "I'm going to be somebody. They need a DA that ain't going to sleep with their employees. They need a DA." And then she's doing that very thing. I wonder what party seems to always be the one claiming that somebody else is doing something while they're doing it. Sounds familiar? Yeah. So the other thing I want to touch on, man, is that, you know, when you showed the video of her talking in the court earlier, the attitude of complete entitlement, because just check this out. You know, when you feel comfortable, when you can just sit there and just be like, what you gonna do it? What? So to me, I hate to say it this way. If she don't come out of this, I would be like, it's well deserved. But if she happened to be able to slip through the cracks on this one, I'm going to be like, I'm not surprised, only because the fact that she felt so comfortable, the sense of entitlement, her just sitting there chilling like, ain't nothing going to happen to me. I mean, what? That just made me feel like whoever it is that she's talking with or dealing with that we can't see, she feels really, really confident about nothing's going to happen to me. But what's sad is that when you just got done talking about right after that, she gets this achievement. For what, being a whore? I mean, this is why the Black church is failing.
Well, but
and this is why,
and that's not just the church though. Here's the thing: is that look, if you are a strong Black woman in today's society and you suck the right dick, you can become the vice president of the United States.
Now, see, with you understand that those diagrams and those three circles, because you.
Yeah. So apparently she might have taken page from that book of Kamala, considering they were at the White House colluding with them and all that before they went and did what they're doing right now, which, big media is not going to cover that. But what I was saying is that the crazy part about that is that, man, this is one of the sickest cancers that's amongst the Black community, is that we will sit there and reward bad behavior. We will reward that. Go to jail, you Black, like I covered a story the other day. You go to jail, you Black, you get out. What do? They have a barbecue, you have a party. How are you rewarding somebody for going to jail for robbing somebody or attempting murder, and we're having parties for them? In this case right here, it's clear. This church got to see this man get up there and say that he slept with her, he committed adultery with her, and yet they turn him back around and still awarding bad behavior. Black young women, they get rewarded by Big Daddy government. It's almost like they're trying to embed it in the very fabric of what a lot of Black people do. Be a single mom. Don't worry about it. Big Daddy government gonna take care of you. You don't have to be accountable for your actions or anything like that, because Big Daddy government is always going to be there to take care of you. And then should you do speak up about them having this crazy behavior, all of a sudden you're getting ready to be, in your case, Kevin, you're getting ready to be the white supremacist, asserting your supremacy on Black people. You don't know about Black people and what they struggle with and all that. But then I come on, who've been through the struggle and all the stuff like that, and I don't count either, because now I'm an Uncle Tom, a sellout, a bootlicker, house Negro, porch Negro, tap dance for the white man, and a coon. So Uncle Tom, by the way, and which I welcome that, because they can throw out Uncle Toms they want to. I just drink it all away, swallow it, digest it, pee and poop it out. Doesn't even matter. But cheers. That's what I'm saying. It just that's what they do. This is what happens. Those behaviors of what they do gets rewarded. And you would be darned if you do and darned if you don't, if you call it out. And this is really sad that the church is absolutely 100% behind her. They should be like, look, we're going to talk with this woman. What she did is wrong, but they're not saying nothing. You strong girl. Yeah, Black women got it hard. Bunch of bull crap.
Here's what I'd say. And this is why it's so, the thing that's really sad to me is, look, okay, so I'm not a Black guy. I mean, like, unless I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm not even an albino Black or anything.
You seem to match this side of me. So, I mean,
but no, I'm not. But I would just I think about the marketing, right? So you have Black Lives Matter, who goes up in the media, and in 2020, they set up their own autonomous zone. They get known for rioting and looting all these cities. Not the best PR for the Black community. And now you have this person who's getting an award for what seems like she just did like rioting and looting 2.0. No, she didn't walk into your average, like, I don't know, Foot Locker and take a bunch of the sneakers or take the TVs out of the Target. No, what she does is she gets elected to an office and then steals your money and pays a guy that she's sleeping with to prosecute a former president.
And you know what? Trump called it. Trump literally said, when we got to visit him and all that, Trump literally told us that Black people are going to be able to commit crimes and do things and get away with it, because it's going to be a huge agenda of the deep state. When he told us that, we all kind of were like, oh, what in the world? Like, whoa. And then to be able to see this whole thing play out like it does. You mentioned the Black Lives Matter. Look where is that? Nobody is asking questions again about where that money is, because again, it may seem like it's crazy, but this lets you know how strong of a hold they have on the Black community when it comes to the way that they have pretty much indoctrinated them to think, is that we just not going to talk about that no more. Like, Black folks, we're not going to talk about where the money went that all these folks donated to Black Lives Matter. We done with that. We're not going to try to figure this out. Well, no, you can't be talking about Black people now. Don't bring another Black person down. Don't do that. It's already hard enough. It's amazing that we would sit there and make excuses like this. And like in her case right now, how dare you come up against this Black woman? And did you see her try to push her feminist ideology up there?
Yes,
I did. See that?
Yep. There was at one point they asked her, like, literally, did you ever have Mr. Wade over to your house? And she goes did you ever pay for things or have him pay things for you? And she goes, I would never. My daddy always told me I never need to have no man. I don't need to have no man. And I'm like, it wasn't about whether or not you're a woman and your relationship with the man. It was about your corruption, miss.
Yeah. And it's amazing. She did all that. I like, you know the whole thing. I got my own money. I don't need no man. This he told. Then she tried to flip it. Then he told me the only thing I'm good for is making a sandwich. See, she throwing all these cues in there that she know is gonna try to possibly, if they're not thinking, she knows it's gonna trigger a whole bunch of ignorant black women who gonna, yep, show is because these men. That's what they be trying to say. That's all we want. They gonna make them a sandwich, and we gotta be some. It already played until she knew she was gonna get support by doing it. But if there was any black women out there that had a brain, they'd be like, oh, pump the brakes. We ain't talking about all that right now. We talking about what you did, sister. So she do all this. I don't need a man to pay for this. I don't need a man to pay for that. I don't need a man to do X, Y, and Z. The only man that did that was my daddy. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is still a man though, right?
Exactly. And had she made a damn good sandwich, maybe she wouldn't be on the stand that day. Just saying.
No, I mean, it's amazing because the whole time, which, I wish, of course, you and I, Kev, we're just normal average people, but the way you and I know a lot of ways that our brain operate, we would have been like those lawyers. I would have thought they would have come back to her. Nope. I just asked you this. No. We're not talking about your daddy and him making sandwiches. We answer the question, man. I would have thought they would have just been like some freaking bulldogs on keeping her there. And then you lied. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. And they giving her 5-minute break like she needed that. This is a DA, like she needed a break to. It's crazy.
No, absolutely. And so that's the really sad thing to me is because I wouldn't even be talking about, I could stick this entire conversation into simply, man, Fani Willis is corrupt. She had this sex scandal and everything. But throughout the entirety of her testimony, she brings up her race and her sex and I'm a woman and I'm black and all this stuff. And it's the leftist indoctrination that has gotten its way into every helm of society, that all you are is your identity. You're not any level of success. You're not the district attorney. You're a black woman district attorney. It matters more about your race and your sex than you being actually in an elected office.
Right. Isn't that crazy? They should be looking at that like an insult. Like, wait a minute, y'all, I'm a black woman and I'm black. Oh, so yeah, we should give them a pass because black people ain't smart. They little, we expect this behavior of black people anyway. So she falls right into how we always perceive black people to be. So yeah, we gotta let this go a little bit. Yeah, Your Honor, everybody don't. She black, y'all. She black. So, we got to give them a little bit of a pass because, they kind of stupid and ignorant,
So that's the thing I want to ask about, Ty, is because I can only look at it from a white perspective. And so I want to know, as a community, everybody will always talk about, oh my gosh, it's so great that we have a black woman district attorney. All these young black people are going to be able to look up to her. Well, now, what is because that was the message when she got elected and when she was getting elected and when she was in the role that she was in. Now, what's the message? What's the message? How does that reflect upon the black community?
Well, this just looked at as nothing more than another struggle for black people, especially during this month of ours. Come on now, you can't do this to us. We's bees in our months now, Kevin. We're supposed to be the month for us to give praises unto our ancestors, and y'all dares comes to us to do her like this. She's just trying to do the best she could, and here y'all go, tries to tear her down for her doing the job because she's trying to go out there and prosecute the ultimate man of white supremacy, and it's that man right here. It's him right here. She tries to go and prosecutes and then she doing it so badly and so wrong that she does no wrong here. She just does the best she could, and they just tries to derail her from getting up north against that man. Bunch of bull crap.
Look, I want to talk more about Black History Month. That is something I do want to get into, but I also do want to talk real quick because I see other people like Willie D bringing it up in the comments. And as I get into this, everybody, I thank everybody who's watching right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Period. I want to, I know a lot of you guys are from Ty's channel. If you wouldn't mind going to check out mine, Speechless with Kev, I'd really appreciate it. Ty's been a good friend of mine. I used to produce him when he was back on the radio with Cities 92.9, but he's still obviously a great friend of mine, and I'm happy to have him on. But I want to talk about Fani's dress being on backwards.
Drop the link in here real quick, Kev. I'm gonna post it on my channel.
Yeah, okay, I will bring that up. I'm trying to find Fanny's dress because I want to bring that up on screen. But I can also bring up my channel too.
Matter of fact, it should just be the handle, right?
Yeah, it's at Speechless Kev. You can see it on the screen right there too. All you got to do is look up Speechless with Kev. If you Google Speechless with Kev, it'll be the first thing that comes up. And if you guys could check it out, subscribe. YouTube right now, I'm not even kidding you. I hit almost 200,000 views last month. And ever since I did, because my content was conservative, because my content told you the truth, now this month, I'm getting like no views.
Of course not.
And it's because, oh man, people are actually starting to wake up because of some of the things I'm telling them. But I want to get to, like I said, I want to talk about Black History Month with you. I have some stories I want to cover with that. But I want to end out the Fani Willis stuff with some stuff about her dress. So this is what ended up becoming the big story. It wasn't even like, this is what a lot of some of the mainstream media was covering, the lying, the corruption, all that stuff. But this is what a lot were talking about. It was this dress right here. It was the fact that it was made to look like, can you guys see my?
Oh, so I thought that was a joke because they was making fun of how
it was on backwards. It was that this dress was on backwards. I saw Demon Girl, who is also one of my subscribers. Thank you, Demon Girl, brought this up. Is that the dress was on backwards. And this is what a lot. So you can see Benny Johnson was talking about it. You can see Willis wore the front zip version of this dress from Amazon. Maybe it wasn't being worn backwards. That's what the reader's added context says. But you can see a lot of people were talking about whether or not this was forwards or backwards or what. And there's some conspiracy when it comes to this tie, because here's what I think. So this could have been a front zip dress. I don't know. I got to be honest. I am not as well in tune with women's fashion and everything. But it seems as though Fani could be trying to manipulate the media conversation. That's
to make it all to like pretty much to get people to focus on the fact that her dress was on backwards and everything versus actually focusing on what was being talked about during the hearing.
Exactly.
I can definitely see that happen, because I forget how many millions that she's worth. She definitely knows how to dress and put herself together. Apparently, if she attracted Mr. Wade, she apparently knows how to put on something. So that might have been purposely done. Yeah, but I couldn't tell. But honestly, I've never seen too many women dresses that zip up in the front. I don't know if I've even seen any, because, being married and everything, wife always, hey, can you come help me zip this up? I never seen my wife wear one that zips up here in the front. And then just how the little lines right there on the part look right there, that's kind of, yeah.
I know. I've never really seen, and look, I will never claim to be an expert in fashion. The majority, I mean, heck, I'll even show you my t-shirt right now. My t-shirt right now is an American, it says America First, and I'll turn around. Hopefully you guys can see it.
Tucker.
It's got Tucker Carlson on the back. I am not a fashion expert by any means. I ordered this off Old Row on sale. I love it. Old Row is not a sponsor yet. But I love it. But I don't know about women's fashion by any means. I've never.
Well, it might have been put on backwards because she was getting smashed in the bathroom before they went out to.
Man, maybe that's what it was.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Wade was right outside.
Yeah.
And he was just getting.
And she didn't even realize it. Just put it on and just walked back, fixed her hair and everything. And I mean, because you look at her, the wig was even a little pulled back a little bit. So I'm just saying, I mean,
ooh, Ty, you're gonna get me called not only a racist but a sexist now here too. Oh.
No, I mean, look, and then honestly, if the video that you just played a minute ago, it literally looked like, I don't know what it is, but from directing over places from Chicago all the way to down to St. Louis, when you have to go in and do like certain observations in nursing homes, she literally looked like she had like on some, I don't know, if you go back and look at the video, her underwear looked really strange in her dress. Usually you can see like a panty line thing. It just looked like a bunch of crumpled up stuff. So I mean, like I said, maybe they wouldn't pull it all the way up after. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
This would be awesome for some of the people that's in here trolling right now. It would be awesome if y'all was able to come on the panel and actually be able to talk about this instead of being these social justice warrior keyboard people behind it where nobody can see Mr. Aubrey. And shout out to Black Thoughts that's in here too. That's a good dude right there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Black Thoughts a good dude.
Let's do I'll put in the link, and I know you have it too, Ty. You could put it in your comment section. I don't know if mine automatically gets sent to everybody out there. But I'd really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, if anybody watching on Ty's channel could check out mine. If you're a troll and you hate everything that I say, everything that Ty stands for, everything that I stand for, I want you even more, because you guys are the kind of people that make this fun, that make this interesting, make this challenging. But Ty, I want to talk as we move a little bit from the Fani Willis stuff, because we'll keep covering it. As you say on your show, we're going to keep covering it. I mean, as we see whether or not she actually gets taken off, if she recuses herself, who knows what kind of gall this woman has. I want to talk to you about Black History Month, because I am a white man. By no means do I want a white history month, but I will say coming up in March is my white history day. It's called St. Patrick's Day. I'm an Irishman. That's my day. I get really happy with it. But I want to talk to you about Black History Month. So February, which is the shortest month of the year. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I mean, my birthday was the first, so I got yeah.
I don't know if the math adds up, but maybe it's about 3/5 of the average month.
But some people not gonna get that. Y'all not gonna get. Some people, they're gonna probably go over their head.
Whoop, right there. But it's Black History Month. Do you actually have strong feelings on Black History Month?
No.
And
honestly, I don't. To be quite honest with you, this is my opinion. The only people that have strong feelings and really want to be all super Black History Month are those that's going to be able to capitalize off of it. Otherwise, regular Black people. I mean, for where I come from, in the projects, in the hood, in the ghetto, to middle class, to upper class, Black folks that I've lived around in all those aspects, nobody gave a good goddamn going. I got neighbors around me right now of all races. We have a lot of Black people in this suburban area, right? None of us get out. Yeah, none of us got nothing out in our house. We don't have no pictures of nobody in our yard. We don't have nothing special like that, because deep down inside, the only ones that really care about that are the ones that are considered to be like the activists and the ones who are going to be able to grift off of, the ones who might be able to put on some type of symposium or so, some conference to get people to come in because they're going to be able to make money off those folks coming in. Because to me, after you actually learn your real history, there is no Black history. It's just American history, period, that included Black people. Because if they really wanted to give a true thing of Black history, they would have started teaching us about Black folks that folks don't know about, like LaMayon Haynes and John Moran and people like Olmsted. These people did some awesome things during a time when supposedly slavery and all that stuff was going on, but we don't hear about them at all. So no, when it comes to something like that, why we only focus on ones that we want to keep close to Rosa Parks? And don't get me wrong, which is cool, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. You hardly hear them talk about Malcolm X or anything like that. But what about the living folks like right now, like the Thomas Sowell, who's in his 90s and is completely brilliant? You know, Larry Elder, Jason Riley. You don't hear nothing about these folks that are here living with us right now, who are making huge changes and differences right now. Only about the past, because if you talk about the ones in the past, then what it does, it keeps people's mindset locked in the past, which is the reason why there's people in this channel right now and in the comment section they're acting as if they're slaves right now. You a tap dancer. You talking like you way back there in the late 1800s. You tap dance for the white man. Sad part about that is that it amazes me that they don't even understand that they are currently under the vises on a subconscious level, that they don't even know how to intellectually think through anything. All they know how to do is respond by saying things like that, which is why you see none of them would get up here, click the link, and absolutely explain why they think the way that they do, because they know it's just redundant.
Absolutely. And I know I see like one other person that's looking to maybe join this panel and stuff. And please, everybody, if you wouldn't mind checking out my channel, Speechless with Kev, I'd appreciate that too. But I want to talk about this. Okay. There's two stories that I really wanted to talk about with you. So I got into a Twitter war briefly with a congressional candidate who's up from Illinois, the 11th district. His name is Qasim Rashid. He's primarying a Democrat. He's primarying a moderate Democrat. He himself, Qasim, is I would argue a neo-Marxist democratic socialist. And so I'll share here's my Twitter war with him and how it started and where it's going. So he posted this thing at near the end of January that said 1920s conservatives were banning equal rights for black and brown people. 2020s conservatives, he said, we're banning and teaching kids about how we banned equal rights, black and brown people in the past, so we can keep banning equal rights for black and brown people in the future. And so I commented, like a rational, logical human being, give me a single right that is enshrined institutionally that white people have that is not granted to black and brown people. I'll wait. And instead of actually giving me any level of a right, he says, imagine asking this while ignoring 500 years of native genocide, 400 years of black slavery and Jim Crow, banning non-white immigration until 1965, denying women, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's the thing that's often asked or said of leftists. And so this man is Indian, I'll say. I believe he's Indian. And like, I don't know exactly where he's from, but his name is Qasim Rashid. You guys can look him up if you want to. He's a wacko, in my opinion. But I'll oftentimes hear that black people nowadays are still suffering from the ills of slavery. They're suffering from the ills of Jim Crow. Are you suffering right now, Ty?
Well, yes, I is. You see, I can't goes and do's in too much. Mass only allows me to go out there and, pick the cotton, shuck the corn, picks tomatoes, and that's all me gets to do. So, yes, I feels it every day. My children, they feels it too. And I had to have them start working at the age of 2 months. Both of them start working. And because, babies cry. And when they cry, they go, wham. So I would put the bag over their mouth. And when their air went through the bag, the carbon dioxide would mix with the different things. And Master had to heat his furnace. Shows dudes. I feels it all the time. Man, no,
right there.
Come on, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. No black person alive today is feeling anything from slavery whatsoever. It's a bunch of bull crap. There is absolutely no way that you can even do it. It's physiologically impossible. It's just physical. You can't feel anything from what happened to our ancestors. But if we want to take it there, if they want to take it there, Kev, tell me why in the late 1800s, post-slavery, that blacks increased 100-fold, 160-fold with becoming physicians, with becoming pharmacists, with becoming teachers, becoming engineers, becoming carpenters, becoming homemakers. How did they increase? This is post-slavery, late 1800s. Black people started having and doing all these things. Nobody talks about the era from the late 1800s to pre-civil rights movements. Nobody talk about that era when black people were flourishing. In fact, it was so grand for black people that, if I had it, I would show you. People can Google it right now. It was a point in time where they actually started printing out papers and magazines saying the blacks have become the new middle class of America. Now, why don't we hear anything about that? All we hear about is, master, master, sorry, I'm sorry, sir. Sir, I'm so sorry. Come on now. We're not talking about these great, you want to know why? Because nobody would have a goddamn on excuse. They were becoming physicians, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and they were doing all this during the time when it was legal to be discriminative against black people. It was legal. And black people still were doing their thing. And you telling me right now in today's world, we can't get ahead because these white people and racism and institutionalized, we need to deprogram white people whiteness and teach them how to deal with black. Get the freaking heck out of here. It's nothing more than a goddamn grift. That's all it is a grift. That's why these places are never free. They're never free. And for anybody that want to talk about this or even think about certain things a lot of blacks do, most of us, and I'm just saying, most of us, when we get invited to a speaking engagement, it depends on who the person is. I tell those people, y'all can give me what y'all feel I'm worth. But most of the time, when you have these things going on with these programs, these DEI programs, They are making money out of the wazoo because it has nothing to do with helping black people and progressing black people. It has everything to do with keeping black people in a state of mind to where there will never be no progress. That's why years later, some of the people I grew up with, they are still talking on the corner, talking in the hood, talking in the ghetto. Yeah, the only reason why I wasn't able to do nothing, you know what I'm saying, bro? Because, you know, them white folks, man, I tried to get a job, man. And how many applications did you put in? Oh, just that the one. You know, there's like 100,000 jobs just within this city. Yeah, but the one I wanted, I didn't get. Did you try again? No, because them white people, man, come on. See what I'm saying? Done. Completely done with the bull crap. And that's why a lot of times when I go to places like this where there are a lot of blacks in there, the way that I'm explaining myself and saying this right now, I come at them that way. They know that there is nothing they can say back except for, man, F you, you coon, you tap dancer, you Uncle Tom, you blah, 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 you know, you sell out, blah, 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 blah. And how's your living arrangement, sir? So to me, if you are living the upper middle class life and you got multiple homes in different states and you got a good thing going and all that, I think I would take my chances at being a sellout.
No, absolutely. I totally understand what you're saying. I see we got some great people in here. I got a super chat here from somebody. Wade had prostate surgery. And when this first surfaced, Fanny made it clear Nathan was unable to get an erection. Therefore, he must be using his strap on.
What the?
I don't know what that means. I see that's coming from Ty's channel. I don't want to be woke or broke. Thank you so much for commenting. Please check out my channel too, Speechless with Kev. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for supporting both of us. I do want to, before I get to this clip, because I want to see you react to this clip, because it has to do with Black History Month. It has to do with all that stuff. But I do want to know, because we talk a lot about the idea of racism. I just covered on my show last Sunday about the Nazis in Nashville. And we have all these people that claim that white supremacy is the biggest problem in America right now. Ty, do you feel like you've ever actually experienced racism? I feel like you probably have, but is it as widespread as the left makes it out to be? How do we solve it? Is it an issue? Things like that.
Yeah, I've experienced racism, and it is how the left made it out to be, but it's by other black people. I'm keeping it a bean. I'm keeping it real. I guarantee you, even the ones, well, I know for a fact, it's a 99.9% chance that the ones who are in here commenting, saying these things about me, myself, I guarantee you they black. Guarantee you, nobody's walking around trying to figure out white people. Negroes. White people are not thinking about y'all. It amazes y'all. A lot of black people are the equivalents of, okay, let me give you an example, Kevin. Mm-hmm. When I do my mentorship, there are some kids that if they're not trying to get on board with what I'm doing, I don't bother them, right? So those kids that are trying to get on board, I'm not bothering them. I'm not thinking about them. But some of them got this way of how they try to get your attention. They'll give you this look. And then they will, and what they're doing that for, they want me to look at them and go, what's wrong? See what I'm saying? So to me, when people are doing what you see in today's world, why are they trying to get validated by white people? We tired. White people like tired of what? We ain't doing nothing to y'all. Yes, y'all are. I go to work every day and I got a family. I'm not thinking about y'all. Yes, y'all are. You don't know you thinking about us, but you certainly is. When you walk down the street, you think, it's amazing that they trying to do everything. Why black people? Why are y'all trying to be validated by white people? I don't understand. I don't get it. You don't see it, bro. You don't. Okay, so I'm in the role that I am right now, where I'm directing. Majority of the people I direct over Kevin, they look like you. They look like you. And then I got Indians. Then there are some, folks that are Asian. Well, Indian is kind of Asian. I'm talking about people from India, literally. So people from India are Asian. But I got a plethora of folks that work under me that are from different cultures, different races, all of this sort.
Do you think people know that? I know that this might be a digression, but do you think people realize that Indian is a part of Asia? Because a lot of times when people think Asian, they think of like let me not call it talking to.
They think like that.
Yeah,
they think it's just being real.
India is actually a part of Asia, and so when you say Asian, then India is a part of that. I know that might be a off topic, but I just want to make sure everybody knows that's like it's a part of it.
Yeah. So, okay. So then here it is like right now. And I'm just being honest with this question right there. If you can highlight it, only like-minded BW.
Only
Highlight that comment for me.
right here. This one
right there. So are you saying racism doesn't exist and it never happens or never happened? I mean, at least be honest if you're going to talk, because you sound silly. Only like-minded BW. It is apparent that unless you get on here and let me hear you talk, but based off of what I'm reading right here, your comprehension skills are severely flawed. Show me in here what did I say in here at all that made you think that I'm saying that, for one, your first thing saying racism don't exist? No. Show me in here where I indicated that it has never happened. I mean, are you serious? And then you saying at least be honest if you're going to talk. Honest about what? The fact that I don't experience racism from white people and never have. The most, if y'all see, here, let me break it down for you.
The first thing when I asked this question, the first thing that you said, Ty, was yes, I've experienced racism.
And who did I say I experienced it from?
White
blacks.
Oh, that too. But
I'm saying I experienced my racism that I experienced came from blacks. I'm being called Uncle Tom. All this, even when I was even in the hood. If you even showed any remotely some shape, form, or fashion of intelligence, you know what they start saying? Oh, you're trying to be like them white people.
Really?
So you are equating.
You know, I take that as
that I'm seeking out intelligence. You equating that with me trying to be white. And even just the way like Candace Owens speaks and some of my other mentors, they speak way more proper English than I do. I still got my people. Nobody knows where I'm from, but they speak very proper, right? And when they do, they got the same exact type of heat. Matter of fact, we had a group of, I don't know if you remember, Ken, we had a group of high schoolers at the radio show, all in there from different areas. And the black girl was in there, and she specifically said, based on how she talked, people would say to her, black people would say to her, you're trying to talk white. So as far as like racism, check this out. This is what I always say, and this is what people hate to do because they don't know. Like being in medicine, people, one thing we like to do, we like to get to the root cause of what's causing your symptoms, right? And what I'm saying that for is this. If you have racism, let's for this person right here. If racism is hate, and y'all saying white people were racist back then, blah 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 blah. But the point is, racism is supposed to be hate. Well, what made it hateful? What the white people did, what they called black people, what they treated black people. So if you have black people doing that same exact thing to black people, what is that called? Well, you can't call it racism. Why? Because you're black and blacks can't be racist against blacks. But what's the root cause of racism? Hate. So you are hating. You're no different than the white people. And when I do that, they, then, like I said, then it's, you sound stupid. You sound dumb. You sound crazy. That's the best you got. Okay, it's a wrap. Obviously, you lost. Move on to the next person.
Absolutely. And I want to say thank you so much to I Don't Want to Be Woke or Broke. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for subscribing at Speechless Cav, everybody. I appreciate anybody who's checking it out. But Ty, as we talk about all that, you obviously recognize racism does exist, but it's not nearly the issue that the left will try to make it out to be. I want to talk about this. This started going viral today. This clip was from an MSNBC guest. So we're talking about leftist media here. And you know, when you were doing your show at Cities, you and I had talked about like Elvis stealing black music. Well, this MSNBC guest had a very interesting take on the idea of music in general. And so it's about a 1.5-minute clip. Take a look and listen. I want to know your thoughts and react to this.
Issue. I don't know if you saw our last block. We were talking about the conservative outcry over Beyonce's upcoming country album. One could joke this whole affair illustrates that the far right actually really hates cultural appropriation, but black people have always been a part of folk and country music. You want to weigh in on that?
Did he just
if
say
white people hated cultural appropriation, then they shouldn't have.
Wait. What did you say, Ty?
I was like, did he just say that the right hate cultural appropriation? Yeah, let me hear that again.
Yeah.
Hates cultural appropriation, that the far right actually really hates cultural appropriation, but black people have always been a part of folk and country music. You want to weigh in on that?
Did you have a thought?
I just wanted to make sure I'm gonna get on it once you play it out.
Okay.
If white people hated cultural appropriation, then they shouldn't have created music, because every form of music in America was stolen from Black people: rock and roll, jazz, blues, country, pop music. So if you have a problem with cultural appropriation, y'all created classical music. Y'all could have stuck with that. Roll the piano into this concert. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it only applies to the fact that, well, we don't like this thing, we can't steal this thing.
Right.
Listen, we keep showing up. We keep showing up and we keep doing well. Y'all let us do gymnastics, you saw what happened. Y'all let us do golf, you saw what happened. Listen, when we start messing with the Winter Olympics, it is over for y'all. I don't apologize for the inconvenience. Stop letting us do your sports. Calm down. So it's like, of course you want to be upset. You're literally running out of quarterbacks.
Right.
So it can't be, it's a conservative outcry. Y'all have nothing else to be mad about. That's all it is. Because if you want to be upset about something, gun control, you have all the time to fix that. But you wouldn't be mad at a Beyonce album? Girl, ain't nobody think about them. They sound stupid.
All right. Let's talk about your book. I got to say, it is super funny. I can see why now, having spoken to you for a few minutes. But it's really real and earnest. And
so essentially, this guest is saying that everything in some way, if it's not stolen from Black people take it and do it better. And the only time culture is ever
slavery.
Damn. Whoa!
I told you, these people don't know, man. You know, you become professional, and you really, I mean, I love it because you become professional, like me, right? And people really get shocked when you start hitting them from the streets. I will smash you from the streets with this verbiage right here, man. I mean, what have white people done better than Black people? Slavery. And I would get canceled. Apparently, they were so good at what they were doing, they were able to trick Black people into selling their own Black people to white people so they can come over here into America and live the greatest life than any other Blacks in this whole world. Anyway, it's amazing that she just got done saying that, and then at the end she's saying something. You know, look, boy, you sound stupid. Look, who's she trying to appease again by her doing it? She is trying to come off like, I'm a sister. I'm about that life. I know Black people gonna really like me because I just did the whole. And here's the deal: if white people did all the classical music, the pianos and everything like that, then cancel John Legend for playing on the piano. You need to cancel big giant mammoth Lizzo for playing the flute and everything. You know, you need to go ahead and cancel Alicia Keys. Well, I guess Alicia Keys can play it because, you know, since the keys are black and white and she's black and white, then maybe she can play both keys because she got both, in her. Come on now.
Well, you have that, Ty, and then you also have instances. Let's take a look at some of these.
Well, real quick, Kevin, let me say this real quick. She said that whatever white people did, Black people got in there and made it better. But then she turned around and said Black people created country music. So why is white people doing that better? I'll rest my case.
I mean, take a hint. I mean, Tracy Chapman, who did an amazing job with Fast Car, then Luke Combs comes out with a cover of it that hits higher on the charts than Tracy Chapman ever did. Just saying. But let's take a look at some of these instances of cultural appropriation that nobody ever wants to talk about. Let's take a look at Ice Spice. Basically, the unofficial.
Who is that?
Ice Spice. She's actually, I just did a reaction video to one of her songs. You should go listen to it, Ty. You should check it out. I can't even say the term because it would be inappropriate for radio, and I'm going to use this segment for radio. But Ice Spice is a popular artist, and she looks like Carrot Top in this crap right here. There's no chance that hair is official or is like actually real.
No, that's an addition of the Karen Jean Pierre wig.
And then you could take a look at this one. Then we have Joy Reid, who's a news host, and she's wearing blonde hair. I guarantee, I actually know for a fact that's not her real hair. And so why is that not considered cultural appropriation? We have all this cultural appropriation, but it only ever happens when it's white people doing things, when it's white people doing something that was traditionally considered Black. But as soon as a Black person or anybody who's brown or darker, has more melanin than I do, decides to do something that's even a little bit white, Like, I guarantee. Hey, Ty, have you ever eaten corned beef and maybe some cabbage and some potatoes?
I sure have.
Have you ever drank an Irish whiskey or maybe a beer with that?
No.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. You haven't really immersed yourself into my culture, but maybe that'd be cool. Have you ever drank on St. Patrick's Day? Look, I'm an Irish Catholic. If you have ever drank on St. Patrick's Day and you're not also an Irish Catholic, is that not also cultural appropriation?
Yes. See, and y'all, so then you and all your other white people, y'all better not eat any fried chicken this month. Y'all better not eat no greens. Y'all better not eat no sweet potatoes. You better not eat no chitlins, no hog maw, no fatback, no crackling, no black eyed peas, no fried cabbage, no cornbread. You better not eat no fried okra. None of y'all better eat none of that this month at all, or you are culturally appropriating.
Or even this right now. This doesn't even have to do with race, Ty. But if you are not a Catholic, and on a Friday within the next, 35 days or 33, 34 days, you go to a fish fry, man, you're culturally appropriating because Catholics are the ones that eat meat or go to fish fries on Fridays.
Well, y'all definitely a culture appropriating because ain't no white folks invented no frying no fish. That's us. We fry everything, and anything y'all is submerged in fat or oil, y'all stole that from us. So cut it out. I don't want to see y'all eat no. That's why I forgot that one, Kevin. Thank you, by the way. You better not be eating no fried fish, especially catfish. I don't want to see it. Matter of fact, I might get a whole bunch of my Negroes to go with me and go protest at Texas Roadhouse because I know they serve catfish there, and they're not going to be serving it this month. Sure enough, not. Sure enough's not, because we can't be having all that. Y'all need to respect us for this whole entire month. And you better not be drinking any Kool-Aid, especially red.
I thought it was the grape one. I thought the grape one was
no, that's purple. You don't give it flavors. You give it colors, dude. What you talking about? You white. You either got see, you got to say orange because that's a color. You either drink orange, purple, green, or the red. Nobody knew what no flavors was. What are you talking about?
Oh my God. You're right. I'm too white.
Yes.
I say the flavor of it, not the color.
Yes, you white. And see, when I started learning what the flavors of it was, then that's when I started getting called you trying to be like white people, trying to be all smart, because I started actually learning what the flavors were, so yeah. But no, that's what I'm saying. This is even see, it's so amazing because this is why I like to add a little bit of comedy / sarcasm into it, because people would look at that and look at this and how we're doing this. They will see how stupid it is. But at the same time, it's a huge trick, and it's a brilliant, evil trick, how you can take something that nobody is thinking about and make it an issue. For example, my sons, when they were little, have 6, 7 different toys in front of their face, not even thinking about the toy, not even caring about it. I would pick the toy up, I'm giving you an example. I would pick the toy up, whatever, have it like this. My son would look at me with the toy. He don't think nothing of it. I put it back down. I pick it back up. The minute I say something like, "Ooh, my toy, it's my," "No, give me." And this is exactly what they're doing right now. Something that was not a problem. They told everybody, this is a problem. Y'all should be mad. Y'all should be pissed. Y'all should go protest. Y'all should go riot. Y'all should do this. And people do it. That's what's crazy. People actually go and do it because these people said it was a problem and y'all should respond accordingly. And that's what they're doing.
No, absolutely. I just, Ty, it is always so refreshing to talk to you. It has been a while. I know it's been a few months. But thank you so much for, I'm getting ready to wrap up here on my channel. I just got home from work. I'm sure that you've probably had a long day yourself. But
no, we work half time this month. What you talking about?
Oh yeah, I forgot it's Black History Month.
What is wrong? You don't study your history. You should know that Negroes are not working this month. What's wrong with you? This is how we get our reparations back. No, I'm not going in full time. You nuts? Not during this month. Matter of fact, it was racist to put President's Day in there, but y'all got away with it because Barack Obama kind of slid in there a little bit. He's the reason why you're able to celebrate it now. But
oh my God, Ty. Ty, are you still open to do the Black and White podcast with me?
Yeah.
All right. how about, I don't know, text me. We are going to start the Black and White podcast, and we're going to air it to both of our channels, all of our channels. We'll even start another one, and we'll get it going. I think it'd be great. And we'll talk about some race issues once a week, and some other shit too, that we'll just see what goes on. All right.
Yep.
Black and White, text me once a week. We're going to do Black and White. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Ty, do you have anything else you want to say before we end this out?
Real quick, everybody that's in here right now, even the ones on my channel, make sure you go check out Kev. It's at Speechless Kev, right?
Yep, you can see it. It's right down there. Follow me at Speechless Kev. All you got to do, you Google Speechless with Kev. It's the first thing that comes up. Find me on every platform. YouTube is my main one. I love you guys. I used to produce Ty's show on the radio.
Yep.
And that's how we got to know each other.
Yep, which is, you can tell this worked out really good. But yeah, I want them to do that. Make sure right now, because some of y'all forget, because I know y'all get caught up in what me and Kev are doing right now. Y'all hit the like button so the video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. That is very important. And y'all know I say it on my channel as well. All of y'all have a cell phone. Go into your cell phone. If you know that there's somebody that would definitely enjoy my channel and Kev's channel, let them know about it. Just start off with doing one. If y'all already follow me and y'all got those people on me, make sure you have them go over there and check where you at. Make sure you have them go and check out this white boy right here. Have them go and check out his channel and have them subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification so that y'all can get notified every time we do something on these channels. We'll appreciate it if y'all would do that. It doesn't take that much to do it, y'all, so appreciate it.
I just sent one of the links in the private chat, Ty. If you could send that to all of your people, please. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody who's tuned in tonight. Keep following. Follow both me and Ty, because we're going to start the Black and White podcast, and it's going to be great. It's going to be huge. As everybody says, it's going to be huge. It's gonna
Never done before.
You've never seen anything like it. I got to be honest.
Stop culturally appropriating me. Stop it.
My God, Ty, you're acting like a white guy right now. What the hell? No,
well, actually, in order to be white, you have to, get the diagrams and the 3 circles in there.
Actually, no, you don't. You just got to talk like this. Nobody in the whole world talks just like this. Find one person does. I bet you don't. Barack Obama. Sign off, ladies and gentlemen.
Barack Obama. I'm married to a man.
Now,
his name is Michael Obama. Michael Obama. Bigger cock than I have.
He had the rod too. Anywho.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ty. Thank you, everybody. God bless you guys. And wait, I want Ty to end out this speechless. Can you say what you end out all of your shows with?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and Speechless with Kev. And I want to say to you all, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.